Today, we're talking about dating in Cambodia, the realities, the pros, the cons, and what every Western man needs to understand. Let's get into it. All right, so today I'm filming from Wat Athvea temple, all right? And this temple is associated with royalty and feminine energy. So I thought, what a better place than here. Quick disclaimer, everybody, this is not about judging women. This is just understanding intentions, expectations, and reality. All right, dating in Cambodia is very different from the West. And my core audience is age 55 to 85-year-old Western men, so this is for you guys. However, this actually applies to everybody, no matter who you are as a man. When you come to Cambodia looking for love, this is what you can expect. First, I want to say attention does not mean intention, all right? Let me explain. Chapter 1, why dating in Cambodia feels so different. First thing you're going to notice after arriving here is the attention you'll get when you arrive with the light color skin. After years of being invisible to the women in the West, you come here and you feel like you've hit the motherland. Of course, there's also the cultural differences in communication and expectations than in the West. For a lot of you guys, you've been married for a few decades. Mind me, I'm walking up the stairs here. Maybe you've never been married. You come to Cambodia and you feel like you're a celebrity walking down the street from all the attention you get. Doesn't matter how old you are. We're going to be talking about why generosity can sometimes be mistaken for affection. And of course, respect versus assumption. Don't confuse the two. We're also going to discuss the differences between dating in the West and dating in Cambodia and the cultural differences. All right, chapter 2, the girlfriend experience, bar girls, and sponsorship. All right, we're going to start with bar girls because that's where most of you are going to get your first experience in Cambodia. All right, bar girls offer what they call the girlfriend experience. They're going to give you attention, experience, and bonding. This is their job. It's important to distinguish that up front. Many, but not all, are looking for a sponsor. Along with emotional support, they're also looking for financial stability, not so much marriage. And that's all right, as long as you set boundaries up front and expectations are extremely clear. Don't assume anything unless it's explicitly explained up front. Age dynamics are very different here. Sometimes they date much older men, usually, sometimes 20, 30, even 40 years older than them. Because sponsorship is part of the dynamic, career girls, on the other hand, they tend to date men much closer to their own age. One thing that surprises most Western men is that bar girls are extremely accountable. Most work at a fixed location, which makes them also extremely predictable. That said, it's not a traditional relationship. It is mostly temporary and purely financial. It's important to distinguish tension and service versus real emotional commitment. The pros of dating these kind of girls is fun, companionship, and a boost in your own confidence. How about this temple? Wow. Talk about old. The cons are going to be it's potentially emotionally confusing and no long-term commitment. If you lead with clarity and respect, you can enjoy the experience safely. However, this is not the path somebody seeking a serious relationship or marriage would want to follow. I'll explain more as we move on to the next chapter, chapter 3, street girls and freelance girls. These kind of girls are 100% purely transactional. They are meant for a quick fix and don't have much accountability. You can often find these girls at bars as well as on the street, and usually it's by the hour. These transactions are short by design, purely transactional. There is no accountability structure, so clarity and boundaries up front are extremely important. You can find these girls both inside the bars and on the streets. Misunderstandings can happen, and respect is absolutely utmost importance, just like with any other woman. These encounters are very temporary and no emotional connection whatsoever. Definitely not an environment to build a long-term relationship. If a man approaches this with respect and clarity up front, he can successfully complete this as it is by design. However, if he's looking for long-term commitment, he will be highly disappointed. This brings us to chapter 4, the career girl, the hybrid balance. Now, these girls are at the other end of the spectrum. These girls are healthy for a relationship as well as they offer the best potential for a long-term successful marriage. They offer traditional values with a career-minded, long-term mindset. They are educated, open-minded, and much more open to Western styles and a Western mindset, lifestyles, and communication. Dating a career woman is deliberate and much more slower as they have clear intentions. And of course, if the relationship becomes serious, marriage is the expectation. Unlike bar girls, career women often date men closer to their own age as they are more financially independent. The pros to dating a career woman is long-term stability, predictability, and emotional maturity, which lays a great foundation for a long-term relationship that's healthy and long-lasting. They often blend traditional roles, traditional values of old-time women from America with modern twist of corporate and career-driven women who can still take care of the family, cook you dinner every day, and still raise a family that's healthy. And the cons are, it does take more time to court them because cultural expectations still exist. For you guys looking for a long-term healthy relationship, career girls are definitely the way to go if you can. The required effort and patience that's required, you will reap the benefits of an amazing woman because they treat you like a partner, not a sponsor. To chapter 5. Quick note, guys, if you're thinking about moving to Cambodia, I wrote a step-by-step guide on the common mistakes to avoid as foreigners when moving to Cambodia, and I also mentioned several mistakes I made myself that you don't have to. It will save you a lot of money in the long run. Check out the pinned comment section down below. Let's get back into the video. All right, now we have what I call build together province girls. Check this out. These girls come from smaller towns and villages, and family is in the center of your relationship. They are hardworking and less materialistic. They are used to shared struggle and often have a strong sense of gratitude. Dating province girls work best for men who are patient, culturally open, have traditional values. This is not for men who want a fast-paced, nightlife-driven lifestyle. These women are incredibly committed and very loyal, and they're also culturally driven. Family commitment and a much slower pace of life is part of the commitment. Chapter 7, money, boundaries, and expectations. Money is a talk you cannot ignore. It should be discussed early and very clearly early on in your dating relationship. Supporting a woman is very different from enabling a woman. As family expectations will increase over time, clarity is critical. As generosity without structure often leads to dependence and not respect. One common mistake a lot of Western expats make here is ghosting, thinking they'll come back and the woman will just forget about it. Because with Cambodian women, you've got a credit score on the streets and they all talk. So you diss one, they're all gonna talk about you, believe me. As respect is earned through honesty and clarity, not money and attention alone. All right, this brings us to chapter 8, mental health and cultural reality. Many Cambodian women carry trauma from post-war life. As mental health services are very limited in Cambodia, emotional suppression is very common, as they will most likely hold in their emotions for a very long time until they explode, as they never learned the coping skills when they get overwhelmed and how to manage the emotional feelings that they get. Something we from the West learned from very young and also through different parts of therapy in our life. Now, I want to be very clear. This does not mean they're broken. What it does mean is they're extremely resilient. Understanding this context can prevent misunderstandings and build trust over the long term. And this will also help you not to judge Cambodian women based on Western standards. That brings us to chapter 9, the myth that a lot of Westerners think that women here are submissive and like slaves. Cambodian women are not servants. They are just traditional, real human beings who are resilient in so many ways. They will cook, they will clean, and they will go out of their way to make you feel like a king. However, like any other woman in the world, they want respect and they will not be walked on. For every little bit of respect you give them, they will give you tenfold respect in return. In a nutshell, treat them like a queen and they will treat you like a king. All right, let's go to chapter 10, my final thoughts. Cambodia is not a dating cheat sheet. These are real women, real feelings with real families and a real cultural heritage. Dating here can be beautiful or it can be destructive. It depends all on your mindset. As any countries, a man should always lead here. Unlike the West, men are expected to lead here. Chivalry is not dead. Remember, set boundaries early on, make very clear expectations, and you will enjoy a very successful, open-minded cultural exchange of love and ideas right here in Cambodia. Guys, if you like this video today, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Appreciate that, and it helps other people find this video just like you did. But until next time, guys, safe travels from Mahoney Travels. I'll see you guys right here in Cambodia.